Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Grasso, and it's my pleasure to moderate this fireside chat. I'm joined with CIOs and C-suite leaders featured in our upcoming Season 3 of Dataiku's very own web series, AI and Us, Guardians of AI Innovation. Just like in the web series, today we'll dive into their unique data and AI journeys in the IT space. We'll dive into the transformative role of Gen AI and the rise of agentic AI in their organizations, as well as how they're preparing for the future. I'm joined by Mark Booth, SVP and CIO of Perdue Farms, a fourth-generation, family-owned U.S. food and agricultural company, as well as two representatives from FLOA Bank, a European leader in split payments and the fintech subsidiary of BNP Paribas, Stéphane Doublé, CIO, and Sebastian Robert, Chief Transformation Officer. So let's dive in. Mark and Stéphane, you've both been on an incredible journey to becoming a CIO. What was really the aha moment when you realized that AI could fundamentally transform your organization? Mark, we'll start with you.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity. I'll take you back to the COVID days when, so Perdue makes chicken to grocery stores out of chicken. And our models were all over the place, and we had people comparing spreadsheets, trying to figure out what consumers and customers were doing. So we had this data, didn't make sense. We thought, hey, the aha was, what if we lay AI over the top of all these spreadsheets? Because we were spending hours and hours and hours trying to figure out which spreadsheet was right. In fact, we were using spreadsheets at all, was amazing. So that was our aha moment. It was like, bring all this data together, let's reconcile these things and figure out what we're doing from a COVID perspective in supplying America with chicken.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stéphane?
Good morning. Well, actually, over a year ago, we launched an AI-based assistant to process credit applications. We were, selling credits to consumers. And there was an experimental agent that we launched, which was completely out of the IT radar, started on its own, and very rapidly, this assistant managed to be able to process about 20% of our call volume, but 95% of all the calls were handled autonomously by the assistant. Only 5% were redirected to human operators. Not only that, but in terms of cost, this entire system, was like very affordable, like 40,000 euro-ish to build with an excellent ROI. And rapidly, what started to be just an experiment ended up to be an indispensable tool in our operational landscape. Right now, we're hoping that 50% of our call volume will be handled by the end of the year by this agent. And to me, the velocity by which this experiment became reality, and again, something which we couldn't live without, was truly amazing.
Thank you. We're going to keep focusing on the CIOs for a second. So as CIOs and IT leaders, you're often referred to as the guardians of technology. That's why we called the Season 3 Guardians of AI Innovation. What does it mean to play that role in today's era of the fast-moving landscape? Stéphane, back to you.
Well, I think it's very important to empower teams to experiment. I mean, you cannot have AI in a silo, so every team in the company should be able to experiment. It's quite easy to do it in the nowadays world because many solutions arrive and don't necessarily need a lot of IT support. Yet at the same time, if you don't apply any centralized governance, if you don't apply controls, you potentially face some difficulties and problems. There could be, for example, data privacy and security risks. There could be poor risk management. You could have reputational, legal, compliance issues. All kind of things can happen. So it's extremely important to start and setting up, again, this governance. Yet this is not easy because you usually will face a lot of obstacles in the organizations. You're the bad guy as a CIO. You're trying to stop the fun in a way. And business lines wants to experiment, wants to enjoy their novelties. And you arrive here with your compliance, your regulations, which specifically in the context of a bank, like we represent, Sebastian and I, it's extremely important. So being able to play the bad cop is sometimes somewhat difficult, but yet important.
That's fair. Did you want to add something, Mark?
Yeah, to add on top of that, I look at this in three ways. Remember, I come from a company that thinks AI is avionic influenza, which you know is bird flu, AI. My first meeting at Perdue was an AI meeting, but not what you all think. So education being number one. Number two, I kind of divide the tech stack from the business stack, if you will, because I think it's important to educate, build the tech stack that you all are so good at doing, and then realizing that it's about the business strategy and how do we apply AI to the business strategy. It's not just an AI strategy. You have to keep all those things in context. And that's where I think where it comes back to being the bad guy sometimes, going like, okay, let's pull that back into the business strategy and so on.
That's great, thank you. So it's time to talk about agents. Where are you all at when it comes to thinking and planning for agentic AI? Have you started building already? And if not, are the things you need to sort out before you can? Maybe we start with you, Mark, as I know at Perdue, you're not building agents yet, but maybe you can shed some light on how you're prioritizing other topics and maybe what that roadmap to agentic AI could look like.
Sure. For us, it's about getting the data straight, our processes straight, so when we get to agentic AI, we have those things organized. We look forward to agentic AI. Our biggest business problem is labor. And if we can get our data straight, get the agents straight, be able to do orchestration and apply that to our business, it will help immensely to our labor problem. So lots more to come in that area for us.
Sebastian, over to you.
Yeah, but I love the question because it may sound like agentic AI is well-established technology, but really it's not. I checked on Google Trends this morning, and the search of agentic AI has increased 100-fold over the last year. So, it's something we talk a lot about, but for us, we're really testing and learning. I think the first level of agentic AI is the routing level, so how we can orchestrate different agents and assistants. That's something we've been trying to build, that we've been experimenting on. And then there's the level where you can have the agent tooling and the multi-step iteration. And I think analytics agents are a good way to try, where you can have an iteration of SQL queries for internal data and Python scripting for external data. And really what you need is the framework for the technology to make all these assistants work together. You need the data, proper quality data, structured, and then you need the governance to work around it and use it efficiently.
Thank you. Building off of that, how are you all thinking about the roles and responsibilities of when it comes to agentic AI, building, using, and monitoring it? Do you have any thoughts there? Maybe we can start with you, Sebastian. I know it's early stages at FLOA, but maybe you can shed some light on how you all are thinking about that.
Yeah, definitely, because when we work with the other business teams, they don't need an agent. They need a solution, and the solution may be an agent or not. So I don't think it makes sense to have like a siloed organization just for agents. It's really, we try to think it like for data, like have kind of the same organization around it, where you need data scientists, analysts to understand the use case, what solution I need to bring to the business, and then you need the technology platform, the IT teams, the engineers to build the framework, to build the architecture, and you need the governance team, like in terms of how we build it responsibly, how we make it efficient, how it's compliant with the regulation, how it is environmentally mindful of its impact. So that's what we're doing, like trying to leverage the data organization that we have for AI and for agents.
Super clear. Mark, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I think from an organizational perspective, I draw a parallel, if you will, to when we started the analytics space. So building a COE, Center of Expertise or Excellence, whichever your choice is, that understands the rules on the road. Especially at Perdue, we tend to look at things from a grassroots up, the education, keeping the department straight in terms of what they can do with the agentic AI and so on and so forth, or AI in general, making sure we understand those columns, if you will. And then from a governance perspective, both on data governance, use case governance, making sure we have a committee, if you will, sitting on top that understands where the company's going, who's doing what, and how these things aggregate together. Again, a theme for me is to make sure those things, when you aggregate them, are supporting the business outcomes and the business strategy, because that's what it's all about for us.
It's excellent, thank you. Now for our final question, I would love to hear from all three of you. Looking ahead, how are you thinking about this next frontier of AI? What's on the agenda for you? How are you thinking about it? How are you looking at it? Do you want to start, Sebastian?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little bit of what you say. It's AI beyond chaos. I mean, we're building a lot of assistants. There's AIs everywhere. Any tool, any technology has embedded AI now. And the question is really how we're going to make it work together. I think the framework that we need to build, the architecture that we need, and then it's really around, with great powers comes great responsibility. So how do we make it ethically compliant with regulation? How we monitor our environmental impact, because that's also a big worry about from AI.
That's great. Stefan?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start adding some more agentic to AI to RPA. We are very big users of RPA in FLOA because we have a lot of manual operations, labor intensive, with call centers, and it's time now, I think, to start adding an agentic layer on top of that, and experimenting with that is my next priority, actually. Second of all, would of course to be the governance I was talking about and the oversight in a centralized way. I think it's important to start putting some controls in all those initiatives that pop around in the company and getting some common oversight.
Thank you. Mark?
From our perspective, we want to keep building the stack, and we want to, I've already said it, but the more we can take AI and put it into the businesses, making decisions, especially the agentic AI, and think about taking that down to the shop floor. I mean, we have 18,000 people making chicken. It's hard to keep them in the plants. What can we do to automate AI? Agentic AI on the plant floor, on the lines, not beyond a possibility. So there's a lot of exciting things as it extends all the way down into the shop floor, plant floor.
Lots of lessons learned, lots of takeaways. Thank you all. I really want to thank Mark, Sebastian, and Stefan for being here with us today and for their invaluable insights. And a plug, please look out for the AI and Us Season 3 featuring these three gentlemen, as well as participants from AXA UK, Catella, BCLC, the City of Los Angeles, and more, coming in May. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.